The full uncensored version of this video will be on my Patreon. Because of YouTube's guidelines, a lot of this will be cut or censored. Thanks for understanding. What is up, guys? So in this video, I am going to go over how to shoot a outdoor boudoir, outdoor glamour shoot in San Diego. That's where I shot it at. And San Diego is a typical city. It's, it's one of those big cities, smaller than LA, but, has lots of different parts. So if you're trying to shoot something creative, how do you go about finding out where to shoot or how to shoot all that good stuff without, getting the police involved, trying to get them to come after you, having people complain, and then obviously not being an asshole and having, doing this kind of shoot around where kids are, being safe, all that good stuff. So I'm going to go into how I did that and what I shot this with. And if you want to see some behind the scenes, or if you want to see the actual project files, the things that I'm not allowed to post on YouTube from this very shoot, it will be on my Patreon page. So head over there, subscribe, and then you can download the actual raw files and edit them yourselves in Lightroom or whatever you want to use, Photoshop. And I can also, if you email me that you subscribed, I can send you some of my personal Lightroom presets completely for free, just as a thank you for subscribing, that you can use. So as you can see, these are straight out of the camera. And at that time, I believe I was shooting with the R5, R6. Right now, I'm predominantly just shooting with the R6 Mark II. A camera does not matter. At this time, I was also using two cameras, two lenses. I was using the 50-1.2 and the, I believe it was the Sigma 135 1.8. So predominantly, those are the two lenses I used, but I wasn't getting the oomph from it that I really liked. So what I did instead is, towards the end of the shoot, I threw on my Helios 44, which is kind of makes it look blurry, makes it look a little bit different, but it fit the nude scenes. So the parts that we were nude, I did use that lens just because it just made it look better to me. It made it look artistic. It made it look like fine art. So as you can see, I tried to, do different creative things. I'm pulling the shutter with this one. I'm shooting at 1/5 seconds, f/16 with the 50mm. It was still very bright out. Should have had a ND filter, didn't have it on me because I wasn't expecting to use video. I wasn't expecting to do that. I was just trying to be creative. So we got a place. This is in Sorrento Valley in San Diego, which is a hiking trail. Now, I've shot here plenty of times, and I know the type of people who frequent here, and it's usually bikers, because this is kind of a difficult trail. You don't really see kids here. You don't really see too many people on feet here. It's typically for bikes, and there is ticks here. I've been bitten by ticks here. I've seen groups of rattlesnakes here. It's not the the best place where regular civilians go. You kind of have to be familiar with hiking, biking, that kind of stuff to go here. And there's actually, I've tried to find my drone here before, and there's like some secret military base in the background that prevents you from flying your drone. So that's a different topic, different video. What was I doing for this? So for this, I brought my Model T again out. We had one outfit, one set of like lingerie, and I had this little sheet because it's very spiky on there with your skin. So I had her sit on there to try to take a few shots. And as you can see, this is right now shot with the Helios, which gives it a little bit of a blurry look. When it's wide open, it is kind of blurry. It is soft. It's hard to focus. And again, I'm trying to get different shots. See, this one doesn't look that bad. I'm trying to get different shots to fit my vision, fit her vision. And while we're experimenting, we're not going quite nude yet. So just like with any model, even though I've shot with her nude before, we build it up. We don't just jump into it because that's freaking weird. At least to me, it's weird. So what we do is we shoot a little bit, warm up, get the poses down, get the lighting down, get the lenses that I like, and then we go from there. You're going to see those coming up, or, it's going to be censored on YouTube. You can see it on Patreon again. What I want you to notice is the colors that we're getting with the lens. So there's like an extra maybe magenta in the whites that I'm seeing, or there's an extra yellow in the skin tone. So this is straight out of the camera, but we are getting, in my opinion, weird color shifts in addition to that hazy glow that you don't see with what I didn't see with the 51.2, and I don't see it currently with my 51.4 RF that I use. I don't use the 1.2 anymore. just because it's sharper, it's newer, better autofocus. So that's why I do the 51.4, and it's cheaper. I sold the 1.2 a while ago. I don't use the 135 anymore either, just because it was too long. I stuck with the 7200 for a while. I barely use that anymore. I'm more into like 50 or 35, and I kind of want to go wider and get a 24 1.4. I believe that's the new one that's out. I go through different phases. Anyways, with this one, you're looking at the Helios again. This is straight out of the camera. Nothing has been edited, as you can see in Lightroom. I haven't put any presets on, any of my own personal presets, nothing like that. Just to show you one though, if we let's find one that I like. Let's go with this one. So if I throw my own filmic preset on there, it still looks a little bright. So I would actually take it down a little bit, and I'm still seeing lots of orange in the skin tone, probably because of the lens. So I'm going to take this down a little bit, saturation down, increase the red, and get it to where I want. That grain and everything is part of my mirrorless filmic preset. All that is there. So what I usually do is I start with camera normalizer to increase the contrast. If you've seen my other videos, I do the same thing, decrease highlights, usually add texture clarity. If it's a female, I'll probably take clarity down. Depending on the scene, I mess with the saturation vibrance. I increase the calibration of the blue channel up, and I add a little bit of sharpness, maybe a little bit of noise reduction. You don't need to do it for this because this was shot at below ISO 800, so there shouldn't be much noise. Once I get it to a baseline, that's when I try to go and add different presets to it if I want to. It's kind of like editing video. I color correct first, then you color grade. You don't need to just jump into color grading right away. So when I'm going with these, I like these ones. Again, if I zoom in, they're not entirely sharp, but that's totally fine. Let's see what I want to find one that I think would be great as a black and white. So smiling ones don't do it for me for black and white. It's more of the candid one, like I caught her. But again, these are not sharp, so I'm not going to edit these because I wouldn't really like to post any of these. I wouldn't print any of these. I would send it to her, but they're not special enough for me to right now dive into. So I'm looking for something that's a great pose. Not liking any of these so far. I do like this one. It does look sharp. I would go to camera normalizer, get a baseline out there, and then I would try to find one of my own presets that would look. See, these are not. I'm not liking any of these. So if I go to this one, it's bright. So I'm going to take this down. I'm going to take this down to there. And then the curves right here, I'm going to grab the top. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. This is kind of decreasing the dynamic range, but it's giving it a little bit more of a filmic look because it's not crushing the blacks, and it shouldn't be blowing any of the highlights either. And you can take this down a little bit, like not like that, but grab this middle one. You can take it down. You're darkening the midtones like that. So I'm going to dive in, and if I like that, and I want to make it maybe even darker, then I can go and select the subject, and then I can increase her a little bit, just like, I was using flash or something, even though I wasn't using flash. I didn't want too much attention on us, so that's why I was shot all natural light, and it was a cloudy day, so I knew lighting was going to be fine. So I like that right there. So I would export this one. Let's go to export. Cool. We don't need it at 5,000 because it's going for social media, and I would export that like that. So let's keep going. Let's see if any of the other photos stand out. Again, these are with the Helios 44. I think it's a 1.8, 1.6. So I'm going to fast forward through these since YouTube's not going to let you see those. If I go to here, sorry, I guess I was wrong. I did use my flash for some of the end ones. I wasn't using it the whole time, but I did use it for some of the end ones. So let's find one that we can edit. Let's look at this one. Again, let's start off with, if you like any of these, just tell me which one you like and I'll send it to you. I'll let you pick a few. Let's see, I would go with, I do like stylized warm, and it doesn't affect any of that. It just affects the curve. So you can always adjust this accordingly as well. And I'm going to do just that. I'm going to decrease the highlights, increase the shadows. decrease clarity, decrease texture. We don't need all that. And if we do make it warmer, which sometimes I do, then I decrease the saturation even more. Let's see how that looks. Looks good. What if I make it a little bit, take the blacks up a little bit, give it a little bit of that film look? And I would like that one. Let's keep going. So again, we went down on these. So these are, so that is the end of the Helios one. This is with the 135. So again, either R6 or R5 doesn't matter. You're not going to see the difference. You're only going to see the difference of the lens. So as you can see, background is pretty blurry. It is with the 135. It's pretty tack sharp. And I'm trying to shoot through things because when you have that foreground, it just looks more epic. Missed the focus there. There's that 1.8. Did I get it on this one? I did get it on this one. So if I go to, let's see, let's find, let's find a preset that I like. I am going to go to, let's just go black and white. Let's increase contrast, decrease highlights, increase shadow. And although I don't like her expression for this one, and I don't like how there's too much brightness here. So for example, for this one, if I were to keep this, I would add the radial filter to this. And then if you decrease the saturation, you see how it's affecting the middle. So I would click invert, and that looks too much. That looks like very amateurish. So I would do that. And if it was making the top too black, then I would just add a linear gradient from the bottom up, make it a little darker there. And you can make that a little blurrier there. I'll give it a little bit more of a tilt shift type of look, which is cool. It's different. And I would stop there. Let's export this one too. So she's sitting on that white sheet I talked to you about, still on there. And again, with each scene, I'm taking shots with both lenses, the 50 and the 135, except for the end when I had done both, and then I just switched to the Helios. So this is still, you know, the early shots with the 135. And again, it's a trail. We walked up this little hill to get to this area, which is the most secluded. But behind us are houses. So, you know, if someone's looking out, they don't like what we're doing, they can call the cops, or, you know, if they're pervs, they can get a show and just watch us the whole time if they're weirdos like that, which is fine. There's plenty of weirdos. That might be even why they have a house there, so they can watch the hikers. I don't know. So again, you can see perhaps with the skin tones with these, it's different than the ones I was showing you with the Helios. These are obviously warmer. I'm trying to find some that I can show on YouTube that's not going to get flagged or anything like that. So you see how her mouth is open for this one? And for this one, it is closed, or they're both open, sorry. It just looks, this one, it looked closed, more closed to me, and her eyes look more like they're falling asleep than this one. So I would choose this one to edit, and I'm just going to go do it from scratch. I'm going to go to camera normalizer, get my basic down, go here, and decrease clarity. And if I take this down just like this, you see how it's kind of decreasing the dynamic range, but perhaps making it look more filmic. And you can take this down like this. And we can always go and just brush up her face if we feel that it's too dark, or it's, you know, not making the skin look good. We can brighten her face up, or we can just do that to make the eyes go towards the brightest part of the photo, which should be her or her face. And we just don't want it to look too bad. So maybe right there. And if I feel it's too warm, I can cool this off a little bit, but I actually like it warm like that. I have no issues with it being warm. So again, I'm shooting through the little weeds and things just to give it that foreground. And I really like how some of these look with this lens. Let's see, is this perfect? It's sharp. I'm gonna go camera normalizer. See, this is in my opinion, absolutely gorgeous photo. We have maybe too much contrast. We have perfect, we have the scene, we have her, we have foreground. It's a hint of nudity, a hint of it. It's fine art. It's not really in your face. And it adds to the story of the photo. I love this photo. I love these with the 135. You don't have to do it with the 135. You could have done this with a basic 24 to 105, 24 to 70. That part doesn't matter, but you couldn't be super wide. You couldn't probably do this with a 14 to 35 because it was distort too much. It'd take you out of there. You can't do it with a 16 to 35 unless you're shooting at 35. The bokeh kind of makes your eyes focus more on her. So I do like the bokeh. It's at 3.5. It's not even at 1.8. So, you don't need that much bokeh. And what else? We're going to maybe increase the noise reduction a little bit. And I would take this into Photoshop, remove that hair perhaps. And yeah, maybe retouch her skin a little bit as well. Although we can always come in here. We can go to range, color range, choose that right there. But you see her skin's too close to the background, so it may not do a good job. It's going to select too many things if we want to smooth it out. So if I go to the sharpness and take that down, see how it's affecting that, but it's also affecting the background, which is fine. We don't care if the background is smoother. That doesn't really matter with this one. If I zoom out, we can smooth it out a little bit. I'm going to export this one as well. So if you want these photos to edit yourself, feel free to go to Patreon, subscribe, and then you can get it to, you can get the DNG files to throw it into your own Lightroom or Photoshop to edit yourself. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see anything else, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. If you want to see more fine art nude, or if you want to see studio shots, we rented a house from one, a huge mansion in San Diego. Whatever you want to see, let me know, or check out the other videos. You'll probably see more photos, more videos of shoots that I've done. You'll see more shoots that I've done with models. Thanks for watching.